welcome to your yoga practice. We'll be starting tonight in a seated position. Any way that feels comfortable. Finding a nice tall spine here. Heels sink heavy into the floor. Hips and sit bones resting heavy on the mat. Maybe bringing palms to knees, and letting the shoulders soften. Each breath reaches the crown of the head towards the ceiling. Each exhale helps you sink a little heavier into the mat. Each breath allows you to scan through the body and send each exhale to anywhere that's feeling tight. With each expansive breath and each softening exhale, truly making the intention to stay here on your mat for the next 45 minutes. And as we begin to wake the body up, we'll start to pair small movements with breath. Start by circling the arms up on the next inhale. Inhale, circle the arms up, palms come together, fingertips reach for the ceiling. Exhale, circle the hands back down to the hips. Okay, one more time just like that. Inhale, fingertips reach. Exhale, hands back down to the hips. Hands resting on the knees. Lengthen the spine here. We'll start to move through the three-part Tao breath. Inhale, circle the arms up. And exhale, fingertips come behind the head. Push the walls away from you as the palms reach out to the side. Lift the palms up to the ceiling. Exhale, fingertips to shoulders. Inhale. Exhale, press the palms away from you as the upper back rounds and the hands reach forward. Palms flip up to the ceiling and fingertips reach high on the inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Softening to the hips, softening to the upper back. Inhale, rise back up to seated, shoulders back over hips. One more time, just like that. Inhale, circle the arms up. Exhale, palms behind the head. Push the walls away from you. Palms up, fingertips to shoulders. Exhale, round the upper back, press the palms away from the nose. Palms flip to the ceiling. Inhale, fingertips rise. Exhale, fold forward. Fingertips, palms reach the mat in front of you. Breathe into the hips. Exhale, soften through the shoulders. Inhale, fingertips reach high. Palms come together. Exhale, bring them down through heart center. Okay. Left hand beside left hip. Right hand to left knee. Inhale, crown of the head reaches. And the exhale, twist the gaze over the left shoulder. Breathing here. Exhale, come to center, switching sides. Right hand comes beside the right hip, left hand, right knee. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, gaze comes over the right shoulder. Exhale, bring it back to center. Coming into a tabletop position. So bringing shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. We'll warm up with some cat-cow breath. So tops of the feet are resting on the mat. Okay. Inhale, belly drops towards the mat. Chin, chest, and gaze forward. Exhale, press through the palms to lengthen through the arms, shoulders rise up towards the ceiling. Inhale, tip the tailbone up, belly drops, gaze lifts. Exhale, tuck the tailbone under, squeeze the glutes, draw the belly button up towards the spine as the ears come between the biceps. Inhale, chest scoops forward. Exhale, tuck the chin to chest. Reach the upper back towards the ceiling. Coming back in center. Okay. Beginning to warm up now through the core. You're going to tuck the toes under. Just float the knees up off the mat. So bracing through the core, through the low back, sides, and belly. Zip that belly button in towards the spine. Tuck the toes. Inhale, lift. And just float the knees off the mat. We'll hold here for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, gently lower the knees. Untuck the toes and sway the hips from side to side. One more set just like that. And tuck the toes under, brace through the core. Inhale, float the knees. 3, 2, 1, and lower down. Rock the knees from side to side. And tucking the toes under, keeping a deep bend in the knees. We're going to find our first downward facing dog of the class. So press into the palms, press the mat away from you as you lift the hips high to the sky. Okay, so keeping a deep bend in the knees. It allows us to send the hips away from the body. And taking any tension out of the shoulders and wrists. We're still warming up the backs of the legs, so dropping alternate heels. It helps us get a gentle stretch to the back of the leg as we get warmed up for our practice. The ears fall between the upper arms. Gaze falls to the belly or thighs. When you're ready, walking up towards the top of the mat. So gaze lifts. And step up to the hands. Pausing here and halfway lift. Length through the back of the legs. Length through the spine. And on the exhale, bring the shoulders over the hips. Come to stand at the top of the mat. We'll move through 3 sun salutations together. Well, starting at the top of the mat, big toes together, heels slightly apart, zip the knees and thighs together. On the exhale, we're going to sink the hips back into chair pose, Utkatasana. So fingertips can reach towards the ceiling, or arms can be parallel to the mat. Palms come together, fingertips reach, straight the legs. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands on either side of the feet and step back into high plank pose. On the exhale, we're going to lower the knees down here. First the right knee and then the left. Untuck the toes. Squeeze the upper arms into the ribs. Elbows point towards the back of the mat as you bend the arms and lower the body down in one straight line. And on the inhale, we're going to press the tops of the feet into the mat. Knees are lifted, legs are long. Inhale, peel the chin and chest up. Baby cobra. Exhale, lower back down. Press through palms and bent knees to come up through table. Tuck the toes under. We're going to send the hips back into downward facing dog. We'll be here for a few breaths. Finding some movement here if you like. Or using the stillness and the breath to slow down the heart rate. Just gentle movements here. Next breath in, gaze comes forward between the thumbs. We're going to walk back up to the top of the mat. Landing here in a forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway. Flat back, straight legs. Exhale, fold. Reach for opposite elbows. Deep bend in the knees. Let the belly rest on the upper thighs. Head hangs heavy. Release the elbows, start to straighten the legs, circle the arms up. Palms come overhead, gaze to the thumbs. Exhale, bring the hands down through heart center and release. Okay, 2 more sun salutations just like that. Big toes together, heels slightly apart, knees and thighs squeeze together. Exhale, sink back into your chair, Utkatasana. Fingertips reach high. Palms together, fingertips reach. Bend the knees, bow forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands, step back, high plank. Lower the knees, first the left knee and then the right. Untuck the toes, bend the elbows, lower the body down in one straight line. Nice controlled movement. And press the tops of the feet into the mat, legs are long, knees are lifted. Inhale, chin and chest peel up. Maybe this time floating the hands up off the mat. As you use the strength in the low back to float the upper body. Exhale, lower. Inhale, table. And tuck the toes under and find downward dog in the exhale. Okay. And sending the hips up and back. Ears fall between the upper arms. Bend in the knees here as we rise up onto the balls of the feet, heels lift. Exhale, straighten the legs, lower the heels down towards the mat. Relax through the shoulders. Heart melts towards the thighs. Inhale, look forward between the thumbs and walk up to the top of the mat. Okay, landing here in a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold, fingertips graze the mat, or we reach the fingertips high. Palms come together overhead. Exhale, press the palms together, engage through the arms as you bring the hands down through heart center, and release. Okay, one more set, just like that. Inhale, sweep the fingertips up, sink the hips low, Utkatasana, chair pose. Palms together, fingertips reach, bend the knees, bow forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, step or hop back to high plank. Okay. Option to keep the legs straight here and come down through Chaturanga by bending the elbows to a 90 degree, coming halfway down. Come onto the tops of the feet as the heart rolls forward between the arms. Okay, so upward facing dog, thighs are lifted. Exhale, send the hips up and back, straight to downward dog. And paddle the feet out here. We'll find a lift through the heels, or simply using the breath to slow down the heart rate in this resting pose. Again, bend in the knees here. We'll bring any tension out of the shoulders and wrists. Next inhale, gaze comes forward between the thumbs. Walk, step, or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, sigh it out. Reach for opposite elbows, deep bend in the knees here. Maybe rocking the elbows gently from side to side. Release any tension here. Let go of the elbows. Start to straighten the legs. Rise up, circle the arms up. Palms come together overhead. Gaze to the thumbs. Exhale. Hands come down through heart center. And release. Just taking a moment to shake out the feet. Maybe grabbing for a drink of water. Our first standing pose will be tree pose. We'll bring both hands on the hips. Okay. Start to bend through the right knee. And turning the knee out to the right. Right heel finds the left ankle. Or sole of the right foot comes on the inside of the left calf. Okay. Or drawing right foot up into the left thigh. When you're feeling steady, palms can come together at heart center. Right foot presses into the left leg, and the left leg presses back into the right foot. Shoulders over hips here. Thumbs can press into the chest and feel the heart beating. Rooting down through all corners of the left foot, left big toe, pinky toe and heel. Hold the body with even weight. Last breath here. Inhale, right knee comes forward. Exhale, step it down beside the left. Release the hands back down to the hips. Time, rooting down through the right foot. Hands come to the hips, bending through the left knee, turning the left knee to the side wall. Okay. Left heel finds the inside of the right ankle. Okay. Keeping those left toes planted for stability, or maybe starting to slide the left foot up the inside of the right leg. When you're feeling steady here, draw the palms together at heart center. Okay. Press the sole of the left foot to the inside of the right leg. Press the right leg back into the left foot. Hips are pointing forward here. Shoulders relaxed. Breathing in through the nose. Seal the lips. Exhale, find that ocean breath, the Ujjayi breath. Inhale, brings the left knee forward. Exhale, step the left heel down. Release the hands to the side. Okay. Coming back up to the top of the mat, we're going to move through Warrior 1 and Warrior 2. Okay, so hand on the hips, bending through the knees, send the right foot back, about 2 to 3 feet. Okay, and make sure there's enough space in between the feet that you have a nice stable stance here. So you may want to walk the left foot towards the left side of the mat. Okay, right toes are pointing towards the top right corner of the mat. Inhale, bring the shoulders over the hips, and then reach the fingertips high. Exhale, lunge into that front knee, stacking the left knee over the left ankle, rooting down through the right heel, feeling a nice gentle stretch through the right calf. Option to bring the gaze between the palms as you press the heart forward. This is Warrior 1, Virabhadrasana A. Lunge a little deeper in that front knee. Exhale, open the arms up into a T position. I'm going to heel toe the front foot forward and the right foot towards the back edge of the mat. Okay. Now the left toes are pointing forward and the right foot is parallel to the back edge of the mat. Okay. The left heel intersects the mid right foot. Shoulders stay over the hips. Left fingertips are reaching in front of the body and right fingertips are reaching behind. We're active all the way through the arms here in Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana B. Exhale, lunge and stack the left knee over the left ankle. Okay, squeezing through the back body to open up through the hips. Rooting down through that right pinky toe. Staying with the pose for one more breath. You got this. Exhale, bring the hands down to the hips. Straighten through that front leg. Okay. Heel toe the back foot up to the top of the mat. Okay. And getting ready for the second side. Bend in the knees, hand in the hips. Send the left foot back this time for Warrior 1. Okay. Left toes pointing towards the top left corner of the mat. Exhale, lunge into the right knee. Inhale, to square the hips forward, bring the shoulders over the hips. Reach up. Fingertips spread wide apart, palms facing in. Really rooting down through that back heel, getting a nice stretch to the left calf and the back of the lower left leg. Okay. Lunge into the right knee, stacking it over the right ankle. Option to add a little bit of engagement in the upper arms the last few breaths by spinning the pinky fingers inward. And on the exhale, dropping the shoulders down. Staying nice and long through that back leg. Lunge a little deeper into the right knee. Palms facing each other, reach the fingertips high. Before you exhale and separate them into a T position. Okay. Right foot walks towards the top of the mat. Heel toe that back foot. A nice wide open stance, landing here in Warrior 2. Left foot, the back foot is lined up with the back edge of the mat. Right toes are pointing forward. Exhale, lunge into that front knee. stacking it directly over the right ankle. Energy all the way from the left fingertips as they reach behind the body, all the way to the right fingertips as they reach ahead. Settle the gaze over the right fingertips. Squeeze through the back body to find an opening through the hips. One more breath here. Feeling all 10 toes on the mat. Exhale, bring both hands to the hips. Straighten that front leg and turn the right toes in for a wide leg forward fold. Adjusting your stance here to find a comfortable position with the feet. On the inhale, draw the belly in towards the spine, crown of the head reaches towards the ceiling, and on the exhale, we're going to hinge from the hip, tip the front body forward. Okay. Option to rest the hands on the thighs, knees, ankles, maybe using the 2-piece fingers to grip around the big toe. Okay. Softness in the knees here. Maybe the fingertips or palms find the mat in front of you. Gentle bend in the knees. Fold forward. Each breath lengthens the upper body. Each exhale allows you to fold a little deeper or relax a little deeper. Knowing that wherever you are in this pose is the perfect pose for you. Inhale, bring the hands up to the hips. Okay, on the exhale, bring the shoulders over the hips. Heel toe the feet in the center as we come back up to the top of the mat. And from here, I'm going to take a nice long step back with the right foot. Okay. Again, enough space between the feet that we can get a nice stable stance here. Inhale, bring the shoulders over the hips. Okay. Pausing for a moment here in high lunge. We're going to drop the knee towards the mat 3 times to build some strength in the hip before we come back up to high lunge, and finally settling down into low lunge. Okay. So exhale, hands on the hips. We're going to lower the right knee down towards the mat. Okay. Just gently tapping the mat, press into the back foot, squeeze through the back body to rise back up to center. 2 more times just like that. Exhale, knee dips down towards the mat, nice slow controlled movements. Inhale, rise back up, really squeezing through that back body on the rise up. Okay, last one here. Exhale, lower down, staying strong through that left leg as well. Inhale, squeeze, come back up. With breath, fingertips reach high to the ceiling. Okay, coming up high onto the ball of the right foot. Right heel is high, back leg is strong and straight. You got this. All right, exhale. Bring both hands down to the left knee. Bring that right knee back down to the mat. Untuck the toes. Okay. And resting here in low lunge. Option to keep both hands on the left knee. or frame the left foot with both hands and sinking down a little deeper. Come back to the breath here in this resting pose. Drawing the gaze back inward. Finding any tight spots through the hips or through the right quads. Okay? Send the breath there. Send the breath to those spaces. Use the breath to bring space, lightness to the body. Alright, inhale, rock the hips back. Tuck the right toes under and spring forward to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, shoulders over hips. Come back up to stand. Come through to the second side. Okay. And taking a long step back with the left foot this time. Bringing the hands onto the hips. High on the ball of the left foot. Inhale, fingertips reach high. Ears come between the biceps here. Okay. As we lunge into the right knee, but keep the back leg long and strong. Active through the left glute. Exhale, bring the hands down to the hips, and we'll be dipping the left knee towards the mat 3 times on this side as well. Exhale, lower down. Looking for stability through the right knee as well. Inhale, rise back up, squeeze through the back body for that lift. Exhale, lower back down, keep that right knee pointing forward. Inhale, lift. Okay, one more time. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Bring both hands to the right knee this time. Exhale, come all the way down. Untuck the back toes. And frame the right foot with both hands. Okay. Untuck those back toes, so the top of the left foot is pressing into the mat. Soften through the right toes. Breathing here in low lunge. Tuck the back toes under, lift the back knee, rock forward, and step back up to the top of the mat. Okay. Pausing here and halfway lift. Exhale, shoulders over hips. Okay. And coming to the center of the mat, we'll move through a balancing pose before we come down into a seated position to do some seated and reclined postures. Stepping forward with the left foot. And as we do that, we're feeling the left heel root into the mat. Just as though we're growing roots through that left foot. Softness through the left knee as we root down through the left toes. Right toes become light as they maybe float up off the mat. Arms alongside the body. Moving with breath into toppling tree or warrior 3. As the right heel floats up to the ceiling, the upper body comes a little closer, parallel to the mat. Option to keep the arms alongside the body for balance, or reaching the palms together in front of the nose. Keeping the hips nice and stable here. And holding here or coming to your edge for 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, right toes find the mat. Stepping out the feet. Right toes come forward, and as they do, toes land and root into the mat. Just as you're going through growing roots through the heel, okay, really plug that right leg into the mat. Feeling nice and strong and stable as we lift up off the left toes. Maybe the front body comes forward, okay? Some softness to the right knee, arms alongside the body for stability, or in front of the nose. Squeezing through the left glute if you're lifting up or reaching through that left heel. Moving with breath here. And using this safe place, coming to your edge for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, left foot comes back down beside the right. Stepping the feet out, pedaling the heels here. And coming down onto the mat in seated position. Legs out long in front of the body. We'll begin with a forward fold. Okay. Gentle bend in the knees, fingertips reach high to the ceiling. Inhale brings length through the upper body, so tuck the belly button in towards the spine. On the exhale, fold forward. Reaching for the knees, shins, ankles, or maybe the bottoms of the feet. And on the exhale, softening through the upper body, chin towards knees. Maybe now that you're here, you're going to work on straightening through the legs. Breathe into the back body. Nice expansive breath. It assists the body in softening into the pose. And one more breath here. Inhale, shoulders come up over hips, bending through the right knee. Bring the sole of the right foot anywhere on the inside of the left leg. And sitting up tall, again reaching the fingers high and folding forward over the left leg this time on the exhale. Okay. You can be active in this pose, so you can be reaching for the bottom of the left foot, or you can be relaxed in this pose with the fingers tucked behind the calf and the nose falling towards the knee. Just keeping both hips rooted down on the mat here, wherever you are. Each exhale helps the left heel sink a little heavier into the mat. Just one more breath here. Inhale, come back up through center and switching sides. Left leg bends, right leg is long. Again, taking a moment to reach the fingertips high. Find that nice long spine before you exhale and come forward over the right leg. Okay. Realizing that it may be different on this second side. That the side of the body may feel different. That the chin and chest may land in a different place on this side. Last breath here. And exhale, come back up to seated. Bringing the soles of the feet together. Tucking the heels in as close to the hips as you can. Maybe interlacing the fingers over the tips of the toes. Drawing the shoulders back and down. Okay, feeling a stretch through the front of the chest. And dropping the knees down towards the mat. And coming back to the breath here. Nice, long, nourishing inhales. Drawing out the exhales to soften down into the mat. Experiencing a moment of strength here through the arms and shoulders as you drive the knees down towards the mat, but also balancing that with a sense of ease here in this seated position where the breath flows freely. All right, relaxing through the knees, starting to release the grip on the toes. Bring the hands to the outside of the knees and draw the legs together. And spinning the knees and feet towards the bottom edge of the mat. Tuck the heels into the toes and come down onto forearms and then on shoulders for bridge pose. Okay. Walking the heels in as close as you can to the glutes. Okay. And lifting the hips just a few inches up off the mat. And tuck the shoulders under the back. Maybe the palms come together beneath the hips. You can interlace the fingers, lengthen through the arms, and making a fist to help to root down the back body in the mat. Okay? Feet are hip distance apart, heels are pressing into the mat, and on the inhale, the hips lift towards the ceiling. Okay? Chest rolls in towards the chin, squeezing through the glutes. Lift the hips up towards the ceiling, bridge pose. One more breath here. Right. Release the hands from underneath the hips. Exhale, let the hips fall down to the mat with breath. Untuck the shoulders and sway the knees from side to side. Coming up onto forearms, and then back to a seated position for bridge pose. For boat pose. Okay. Knees are bent at a 90-degree angle. The shoulders stay in line with the hips here. Chin is lifted, neck is long, so neck is in line with the shoulders, which are in line with the hips, at a 45-degree angle. Bring the arms alongside the body for balance. Chin is lifted, back is long. Inhale, lift the right toes up off the mat. Next inhale, lift the left toes up to meet the right. Squeezing through the core here. Maybe lifting the shins parallel to the mat. Navasana, boat pose. Okay, the feet might shake a little here. Last breath here. Exhale, lower the right toes and then the left. And the hands to the knees and shoulders rise back up over the hips. Reach the right hand behind the right calf and grabbing onto the left shin. Reach the left hand behind the left calf, grabbing onto the right shin. Okay. Round through the upper back and press the shoulders away from the knees as the arms lengthen, the belly softens. Chin tucks to the chest. Soften through the toes here. And start to release the hands. Alright. Stack the knees, swing the feet to the left side, and come back into a tabletop position. Gonna meet in downward facing dog. So hips lift high. Okay, from here we'll transition into pigeon pose. Okay, so bend the right knee, send the right foot high behind the hips. Okay, bending the right knee, bringing the right knee behind the right wrist. Right ankle comes behind the left wrist. Straighten through the back leg as you sink the hips down towards the mat. Okay. Keeping the hips level here, so making sure that the left hip isn't dropping too far down from the right. And staying here in proud pigeon with the left toes pointing straight behind the left hip, or option to walk the forearms or elbows down to the mat, okay, for sleeping pigeon. Okay. You can cup the chin in the palms here and rest the head as you sink into the stretch in the right hip. Or you can bring the forehead down to the mat if you're able. Again, the option to stay here in proud pigeon, working on bringing the shoulders over the hips. But the most important part of the pose here, the alignment, is to have level hips. Okay. Here for a couple more breaths. Okay. If you're down in sleeping pigeon, walk the hands back up to proud pigeon. Walk the left foot forward, tuck the left toes under, lift the hips, and send the right foot back to meet the left. Okay. And walking at the feet here, dropping opposite heels, noticing the difference in the hips after pigeon pose. Okay. Coming into the second side, bending the left knee, setting the left foot high to the sky. Exhale, bend the left knee, bring the left knee behind the left wrist, left ankle behind the right wrist. Straighten out through that right foot. Okay. Right leg is long, hips are level. Okay. Staying here in proud pigeon. Or over the next couple of breaths, option to transition into sleeping pigeon. So you come down onto the forearms. Again, maybe stacking the palms over the elbows to rest the chin. Maybe stacking fists on the mat. Come down in sleeping pigeon. Here for 2 more breaths. And walking back up to proud pigeon. If you're all the way down to the mat. Walking the right knee forward, tucking the right toes under, sending the hips up and back. Left foot meets the right. Okay, pedaling out the feet here. And coming down onto the knees, stepping the right knee to the right edge of the mat, left knee, left edge of the mat, big toes come together behind the hips. Exhale, sink the hips over the heels, walk the fingertips towards the top edge of the mat. Okay, ears come between the upper arms, chin comes towards the mat. Okay, this is child's pose, Balasana. Each breath helps you to lengthen through the spine. Each exhale brings the hips a little closer to the heels. So knowing where we want the hips to fall, use the breath to find that space in the body. Staying active through the arms here. Fingertips are reaching. Exhale, melt the heart down towards the mat. Hips sink over the heels. You're opening through the hips. Next inhale, lift the chin, gaze comes towards the thumbs. Okay, root down through the palms, use the arms to bring the body back up to table. Okay, and again, I'm going to swing the legs out to the left, sit down on the hips, and bring the feet forward. Okay. Bringing the hips towards the heels. Soles of the feet come together, knees come wide. I'm walking down onto the elbows and forearms before landing on the shoulders, resting the head on the mat. Arms come long beside the body. Okay. Soles of the feet together, knees come wide for butterfly pose. Shoulders heavy on the mat. Breathe into the back body. Notice the back ribs press into the mat with each inhale. Notice the hips softening with each exhale. The knees become a little lighter with each breath. Body becomes lighter with each breath. Last breath here. Start to straighten the right leg. Right heel finds the bottom right corner of the mat. Straighten the left leg. Bring the left heel to the bottom left corner of the mat. Okay. Take up lots of space as the arms come alongside the body. Feel the body rest heavy on the mat here. And finding a comfortable position you can hold for the next few minutes. As we come into our final pose, Shavasana, where we let the practice sink into the tissue, into the muscle, into the mind, heart, into the body. Where we truly reap the benefit of the practice. Okay. Next breath in, curl the toes in towards the body. And on the exhale, relax the feet and let the pinky toes fall a little closer to the mat. Breathe in as though you can draw the breath in through the bottom of the feet. Exhale, soften to the heels. Calves are light. Imagining the breath as a warm, bright, healing light as you draw it all the way up the legs. Feel the knees soften and the hips sink heavy into the mat. Feel the next inhale. Draw lightness into the belly. Ribs expand. Exhale, feel the shoulders rest heavy on the mat. Next inhale. Ribs expand, collarbones lift. So you feel that healing light circle through the body. Exhale, body sinks heavy into the mat. Just as though the next breath has the power to take the weight off the shoulders. Exhale, shoulders are soft and heavy in the mat. Fingertips start to naturally curl towards the ceiling as the arms rest heavy into the earth. Draw the chin in slightly so that the neck can be long, the base of the skull can rest heavy on the mat. Relaxing the nervous system, relaxing the body. Softening through the jaw, softening through the forehead, softening through the eyes. Feel the breath come freely through the body, clearing space for an open mind and an open heart. Really connecting the mind to the body through this breath as you feel everything else float away. It's been my absolute pleasure to guide you through this practice. I hope that you feel a little more calm, a little more light, that you lead a little more with the heart from here on in. The light in me sees, honors, and deeply respects the bright light in each one of you. Namaste.